Hi. So I just wanted to hop on real quick. I did a blog post on it earlier on this week, kind of following the whole everything that's on the media at the moment regarding suicide. That's another young life that's been lost to mental health, and it's still considered. It's still kind of fobbed off a little bit. Everybody talks about how people are selfish, or why didn't they talk, or why didn't they this, da, 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 da. And I just kind of wanted to put my 2 cents into it as someone that has struggled with their mental health, over the years, for a long time. After losing both my parents to alcohol, I had a lot of issues to kind of deal with, and you pick up all these, in the fallout, you pick up a lot of unhelpful coping strategies, or toxic behaviors and things. A lot of your behavior is either learnt or kind of reactive to situations. So it's why I kind of kicked off. I thought everything surrounding Love Island. It's kind of why I got pissed off and upset when all this whole Megan Barton Hansen, or whatever her name is, all these people saying all these nasty things about, how she had so much surgery and, her behavior and everything like that. But normally when we're acting out in a certain way, and other people don't understand it, what they kind of don't take the time to stop and think about is why are these behaviors there apparent. It's behaviors where you're changing your appearance, behaviors where you're changing your appearance, or you're essentially going out on like an approval junkie kind of way, where you might be with multiple partners, or doing things that are shocking to get a reaction. A lot of the time it's wanting to be noticed, and you don't always do it in a way that is going to be helpful to you or feel good. A lot of the time when we're doing these things, now this is me just speaking from my personal experience, I can't vouch for these people, but it's out of pain, and a lot of the time it's out of a negative self-worth. So a lot of the time I would do all of these things out of just not feeling worth very much, not feeling worthy of love or care, or doing things that put me in a dangerous position, because that is the level of self-worth that I held. So when then people feed that with negative reactions, rather than kind of going like, look, are you okay? Or just kind of try to understand you, or find out a little bit more about behaviors that you don't understand. Attacking them, yeah, in a way is what we're looking for. We're looking for that, to be told, oh, you're awful or whatever, because it fuels it, and then you've got more things that you're fighting against, and you're looking for clarity, you're looking for clarification in everything that you're feeling. So if you go and act in a certain way that's going to attain more criticism, it's just a way of kind of clarifying in your mind that no, you're not crazy, because look, all these people do think these things about me. And it sounds fucking mental, but it is. It's a lot of the time it is as simple as that. And it takes a long time and a lot of energy in self-discovery to come to that. And unfortunately, in the path of trying to find that out, or work out why you're doing things that you do, or why you're constantly chasing stuff that hurts you, some people lose their lives in that, because it's a very lonely, painful place to be in. when I suffered my postnatal depression last year, I had a lot of expectations riding on people that were in my life, and I figured that they loved me and cared about me enough that, you know, no matter how hard things got, how dark a place I got to, how much help I needed, that, you know, these people would be there. And unfortunately, it's just not as simple as that. There are going to be people in life that let you down, or there's going to come times where you hit really major points in your life where you're going to lose people that you thought were your people, and they're not. I found this when I lost my mum. That was when the first batch of friends dropped out, and you can't really get your head around it, because, you know, you're going through something so painful. You can't understand why anyone would drop you. And a lot of the time it's just because people don't know what to do, how to handle it. If they've got no experience of this pain themselves, it can be not understanding it, or it can be a fear of their own or their families or whoever's mortality, and not really wanting to have to deal with the feelings that come along with that. Or they can just not be your people. So of course the first batch went then, and I went through a really difficult time in that year after my mum died. I just ended up a complete hot mess. I was working as much as I could to not have to deal with the fact that I'd lost my mum. And then at the weekend I was getting so drunk that I would pretty much just pass out on my own, really sad. And I remember going to the doctors and saying, like, I'm worried because I'm doing this, but because it was only one night a week, they were like, it's not a problem. You know, people in London are doing this, it's just grief. But, you know, it's not a healthy coping mechanism. And in falling pregnant with Ruby essentially saved me, because everything had to stop. I had to start looking after myself. I had to start looking after my body and my mental well-being, because it wasn't about me anymore. When I fell pregnant, another big milestone. So that's when I lost another batch of people, or others started showing me sides of themselves that, you know, it was very apparent that they weren't going to be there. So I had a friend that I had for 25 years. I'd known her for 25 years, and she followed all my, so you can see on your stories who's following them, following everything. And I had announced that I was pregnant. She had been to both of my parents' funerals. She knew everything, and she was one out of, you know, hundreds of people that had congratulated me on my pregnancy. The details of my pregnancy and being like on my own for it and everything like that wasn't out. And I messaged her because I was just kind of like, look, you know, we've been friends for a very long time. I'm kind of surprised that you haven't said anything about my news. And her response was to say, look, Amanda, I don't have time for your fucking dramas. That was my congratulations for my pregnancy. Now, it's not helpful to then go and react emotionally to that. So I just kind of thought, well, you know, she's obviously in some sort of pain somehow to react that way. So I was like, look, if that's the way that you feel, I'm sorry you feel that way. And then I just blocked and deleted her, and I haven't spoken to her since. And that was really tough. But, you know, there was other friends who had been surprised that I was going to have my baby kind of maybe backed away and stuff. So that was tough. And then, of course, again, when I had my beautiful daughter, that's when another batch went. So, you know, it's really tough. So when you're suffering with any sort of tiny little bits of mental health and people are dropping away, you think it's about you, but it's not about you. It's about them and their reaction, how they deal with it, or how comfortable they feel. Or again, as simple as they're just not your people. When I went through the really tough depths of postnatal depression, even my remaining family kind of just, sorry. And I'll go into everything a little bit more in depth in future, but I had to go through some really tough times. But I knew that, you know, apart from the fact that my daughter, the time spending with this tiny little miracle baby, I knew that I could get through anything for her. And I know that in the depths of depression, it doesn't feel like that. And then you've got your added layers of guilt and everything like that. So I'm trying to keep this kind of brief, but my point that I'm kind of getting at is expectation is a fucker. So if people are starting to let you down, not being there, or not validating your feelings, so telling you how you're feeling, telling you you're not allowed to feel a certain way, telling you that a way that you're using to cope isn't right, that's not helpful for you at all. And you need to make the choice to distance out. Well, talk to them, and if they still don't change, you kind of need to put a little distance between yourself and them, and look to the people that are offering support. If there isn't anyone, there are charities like Pandas for well-being around your pregnancy and after giving birth, or places like the Samaritans are absolutely incredible if you don't feel like you've got anyone to talk to. Building a support network. So I found going on social media, and I set up an Instagram page surrounding my pregnancy, and through using certain tags and everything like that, I built some of the best friends that I could ever have hoped to have met, that I've never met, who supported me through all of these times, and it's absolutely invaluable. Another one is talking. So it might not be to people that you know, it might be people that you don't know. So again, Samaritans, or asking your health visitor or your doctor for some support, in the form of counselling, or there's so many different options. Looking after yourself, so it's easy to not want to do anything when you feel really low. My best advice is, when you feel depressed, move. By exercising, by even going for a walk, getting outside, you can release endorphins, which will naturally make you feel much better. It's easy to start grabbing the alcohol or the sugar, or you know, the fatty things, and all of these things just kind of keep you in that cycle, make you feel miserable and groggy. Alcohol and most drugs as well are depressants, and if not depressants, they're toxic. You know, they're not helping you or your body. So the best thing we can really do is to look at getting you feeling healthy and build your happiness from that. And then last one really is positive thoughts. So trying where you can to find at least one good thing in your day. So again, as a mother, it's probably going to be your little ones. You know, if they are screaming at you, yes, it is, it's really, really tough. But, you know, try and think about all the things that you do love about your little ones, your life, the things that you're grateful for. And it's the beginning steps of getting you back to feeling like you. I'm here to say that after dropping to the lowest low, where I wasn't suicidal, I was desperate to live. I was desperate to live, and it felt like all the people that were supposed to want me to didn't care whether I did or not. And that is, I mean, it's terrifying. It's fucking awful. But what you need to remember is that there are so many people that want you to and love you and care about you, and you can't see that. You cannot see that when you are in that low. So I'm hoping that by kind of sharing little bits and pieces, or telling my story a little bit, that I can help you to find the little things that help you get back to that place where you feel so much better. And it does come. It does come. In the lowest lows, it doesn't feel like it. It feels like you're drowning. That's the only way I can think to describe it. It feels like you are drowning in yourself. You feel like you're being attacked by your own body, by your own thoughts. It's all consuming. It feels like when you're losing the sleep from it as well, it feels like there's a fog around you. You can't focus. You can't find the good. It's very difficult, and you have to work for it, which is tough. But that's where getting help from anyone who is willing to give you love and care, and they are out there, is so important. Don't try to do it by yourself. The unfortunate thing about the people that lose their fight is, more often than not, they're not accepting the help. Sometimes they are, but a big step is accepting the help. I'm going to do another video on how to support someone that is going through difficult times. If there's anyone that you're worried about, I'm gonna go into how to approach that and how to get help if you're not sure how to approach that. So I hope this video has been some sort of help. I kind of just shot from the hip and just kind of spoke, but that's part of my story and part of how I got through there.